Establishing battlefield control. Stand by.
Hello everybody, welcome back to the HHC Snowman gaming channel. We're doing a live stream today. First off, can everybody hear me? How's the volume? Just checking. Check, check, check. Check, check. Czech Republic. Okay. Good, good, good. Welcome back everybody, good to see you guys. Hoping to complete the Firestorm campaign for GDI today. But before we get started, I did want to give a little update on the First Tiberium War documentary. So we'll see how this goes. So let me load in for the problem. Okay, so essentially we're in the phase now of getting a bunch of recordings from the voice actors. If you missed the last stream or some of the posts I've been doing in the community tab, we've basically I've decided to split the project into thirds. That's probably how it's going to be published, but more important for our discussion, that's how I'm handling it in terms of making the documentary. So the first third of the script went out to all of the voice actors who are speaking in the first third of the script. And then once I'm done editing and getting that to a point where I feel like I understand how it works and how I'm going to integrate everything, then I will send the next batch and then the next batch. So the break after this first batch of scripts is probably going to be decently long, maybe a month to 2 months. Hopefully not that long, but that is the time I will be taking to be experimenting with Blender, with GIMP, and a few other things just to see if I can really fix up the visuals and see just get a sense for how I want this to look and get it to a polish that I feel like I can do for the entire documentary. I'm also working with some artists. So I'm working with Zypher. He's agreed to do some things as far as like drawing some of the talking head experts. I'm not sure how many he's going to be able to do, but I'll give him a full batch. I'm waiting to get the rest of the voice acting from the last bit of the voice actors because I want to be able to give him both my description of the expert and also the voice from you guys so that he can have an idea of what he wants to make the person look like based off of the voice. So there's that. And then on the other end, we got a guy named Flacktrack, and he's been helping me out a lot because he's really good with GIMP, which is, you know, the open source Photoshop. I'll see if I can post it if he grants me permission, but out of the blue, I asked him, like, hey, because he was doing some really cool stuff where he was taking, like, pictures of Kane or General Shepard, and he was, like, scuffing them up and making it look like age 90s photos. So I asked him, like, wow, you're pretty talented with this. Can you give me a sense of, like, your skill level? Like, say, if you wanted to take, like, an old photo of a young James Earl Jones and Photoshop it onto a military uniform, would that be difficult for you, or is that beyond your range of skill? And, you know, he was very kind. He explained everything and was like, oh, that would be really difficult. This is probably how I would do it, but that would be something that would be harder to do. So I was like, oh, okay. So I figured, okay, probably outside the realm of his skills. And then I kid you not, a few days later, he's like, okay, did it. And it looks really good. He took, like, a picture of a young James Earl Jones and put him in, like, a soldier's uniform. And it looks like, it looks like General James Solomon, like, when he went through ROTC or something. Like, it looks amazing, and I'm probably going to end up using it in the final product because we don't have any pictures of General James Solomon during the First Tiberium War, so this is probably the closest we're going to get, and it's really good. And I was happy because I personally, like, am kind of against using any sort of AI in this, you know, outside of, like, the AI that was used for the first collection, which was basically just used to upscale, which I think is kind of a proper use for it, especially if we're trying to preserve old resolution material. But, you know, aside from that, I really don't feel comfortable using it. And so I was hoping somebody out there would have this sort of skill, and goodness, Clacktrack had the skill. So he's also done a lot of cool stuff where he's taken documents from like the original game and put them into a format so it looks like an official like military document with like GDI's watermark on the side. And then he's made like nod propaganda posters and GDI recruitment posters. It's really cool. So I'm thinking about, and he seems open to basically me being like, hey, here's some of the intelligence database entries that you guys submitted. Can you like polish this up and make it look like an official GDI document? And from there, I'm going to kind of use my Blender skills to like, that I will eventually have because I'm learning it, to like maybe make like a desk, a military desk, and have like the document there as like a 3D asset, but like on the desk so that it looks, you know, like set dressing and you can actually see an official document. I feel like that would be really cool. So there's a lot of stuff like that I'm doing to try and make things interesting, because as it is on its own, it can be kind of a dry reading, but then we have your guys' voice acting, hopefully my Blender stuff to make it look good, the document stuff to make it look good, official photos. There's a lot of stuff in there we can do to make this more visually interesting and account for the fact that I won't actually be able to film anybody in live action. We got some questions here. Let's see. We got Michael Grodel says, are you planning on releasing all 3 parts of the documentary all at once, or working on one, releasing, then working on the next? In terms of behind the scenes, I will be working on them in thirds. So I'm going to basically get all the recordings and everything from all of you guys for the first third. I'm going to do a lot of editing, maybe not to completion, but most of the editing towards the final product of that first third. Once I'm happy with what I have, and I've built up the skills to do that, and I have a format and a procedure, then I'll go on to the second part and then the third part. So hopefully the second and third part will go a lot quicker because I will have figured out the editing tricks. I will not release the first third once I've nearly completed it. I will wait until all 3 are completed and then probably release all 3 like a week apart. That is the current plan. Luke Danger says, a billion chatbots cannot write a song like this. Kill the Clankers by Jonathan Young. Jonathan Young released a song called Kill the Clankers? I need to check that out. Let's see. Alicia Earl says, how long will each third be? In terms of how long it will take me to complete it, or in terms of how long will the finished product be for each third? Because in terms of how long it will take me to complete it, I'm thinking the first third will probably take me about 2 months. After that, I think the second and third part will be a lot quicker, and each one will be about a month at most. I think once I get things down, it'll be a lot quicker. In terms of how long they'll be once they're published, each third is probably going to clock in at around an hour, maybe hour and a half, depending. So this will be a mini-series documentary. So instead of one long documentary, because when I had the script for just my narrative parts, it clocked in at around 2 hours, 2.5 hours. Once I added all your intelligence database and the expert speaking and all the cutscenes, it quickly blew past 3 hours, and I realized I cannot release this in one go. This has got to be a mini-series like what History Channel would do with figures like General Grant or Theodore Roosevelt, if you remember those. Nastologic says, hopefully it'll be great work. You feeling sick, Nastologic? God bless you. Benjamin Delphine says, the last mission is much easier with GDI than not because of emplacement. True. Alicia Earl says, ooh, so almost like a series on a playlist. Yes, exactly. So it'll probably be 3 parts, each one being an hour to an hour and a half. Maybe longer. But it'll be something that you can all enjoy, and I'll release it within a span of 3 weeks. That's the current plan. Trevor Lane says, I really hope you do a remaster of Tib's Son. It's right for it. Oh, they do. I was going to say, I can't do that. Zaptagus says, is your narration going to be presented as in-universe or not? Yes, good question, Zaptagus. So, as I mentioned very early on in the project, I want this to be entirely in-universe. So, I might fiddle around with the years somewhat, but the current plan is that this in-universe documentarian, Samuel Clark, the name might change by the time we get to the final product, is a Blue Zone documentarian around the year 2045, giving a retrospective documentary on the First Tiberium War. This will be more explained in the cold open to the documentary, which I've already written and recorded with Rogue. But the idea is that this is a forgotten war. Because of course it would be. Like, in a world by 2045 where we've had Nod nearly release the world-altering missile that almost would completely, destroy all life on Earth, or at the very least irrevocably mutate it, and then right after that we have the AI Uprising of Cabal that we're playing through right now. And then of course Tiberium itself ravaging the Earth. No one would care about the First Tiberium War. That would be a footnote in history. Like, if this was something, it'd be like the American Revolution as it's taught in like British schools. For us, it was the most important day of our lives. For them, it was Tuesday, losing a colony, right? It's like that scene from Better Call Saul with Chuck McGill, just like Britain telling to the U.S. in their history, being like, the truth is, you never really mattered to me. If you've seen that, like, that's how the First Tiberium War would be in this universe. No one would really care. It'd be a footnote because it's like, oh yeah, this is the first time GDI and Nod ever fought against each other. And this was around the time when Tiberium first landed, but no one would really care. And I feel like this in-universe documentarian's point of view is like, I want to bring honor to the veterans who fought in this. I want to shine a light on this often ignored piece of our history that I think is actually super important. And that's the other thing I hope that gets across, is just, I think that the First Tiberium War is Kane's most important defeat. And I will explain why in the final documentary, but I think that's really important. Okay. Let's see. Chase Baker says 3 to 4.5 hours of CNC content. Heck yeah. Yes, and I hope it's up to a really good quality so that it's something that we can be shared across the entire CNC community, and it's something we can all be proud of, because it's not just a result of my work, it's a result of all of your guys' passion. And really, I'm standing on the shoulders of giants with Jathild and No Strings Production and everyone else, all the fan artists, all the people running the Discord, all the people interviewing Westwood. Like, this is all buoyed by everyone in the CNC community's passion that made it where, like, oh, I could spend time building a 3.5 hour plus documentary miniseries on this, and there'll actually be an audience for it. Alicia says, fun, more to binge watch from your channel. Yay. Michael says, just received a Soviet parade belt. It just arrived. Pretty happy with it. Oh, that's an actual thing? I'm not aware of that. Alicia Earl says, did you go into detail about whether you'll include only canonical elements or non-canon aspects? I'm trying to grasp an idea of somewhat to expect, considering I'm still a novice at CNC. Excellent question, Alicia Earl. So originally, I was going to make just a video essay on Tiberian Dawn, and that was going to be it, or a comprehensive look at all of the events of the First Tiberium War from an out-of-universe perspective, and that would be sticking entirely to canon events, like I do when I covered Tiberium Wars. If you've seen my Tiberium Wars Redeeming the Legacy of GDI video, that has some of my like personal views, but for the most part, I'm sticking to the canon. This is not that. Basically, the idea is that half of this is sticking to the canon, and then a quarter of it, I don't know. Half of it is sticking to the canon, and then the other 50% is our own bits of fan fiction that we added in, but all of it has to have at least 1 foot firmly in the canon. So, for instance, there's a lot of ideas of people when they wrote were like, oh, I believe that Kane maybe was responsible for helping to create GDI in the first place. Like, they wanted that to happen, or they had a hand in all world events going back to like World War I and World War II. And while I do like the idea of Nod as a shadow operation, there is nothing in the actual canon to actually say that Nod had a hand in creating GDI or that they wanted that outcome. So I removed that. There are other examples as well. There's lots of other examples people put in there where it was a really cool idea, but it's stretched a little bit too far from what we know about canon for me to want to include it. Whereas there are other things like, hey, we know that there's a brief mention in a cutscene in Tiberian Dawn where it says that photos were smuggled out of the Tiberium Research Center, which shows that within a week, a tree goes from entirely healthy to being a mutated Tiberium blossom tree. And just looking at the timeline and everything that we know from Renegade, I'm like, that was probably Sydney Mobius, right? She'd be one of the few Tiberium scientists who would have access to the Tiberium Research Center. It wouldn't be Dr. Ignacio Mobius, because by this point he's still on talk shows talking about how the possibilities of Tiberium are limitless. Like, he hasn't quite figured out, or is not willing to admit just yet, how dangerous Tiberium is. So I'm thinking, like, logically that has to be Sydney, right? So that was written in. So that's the kind of fan fiction that we're doing. If we do include fan fiction, that 50%, We only include it if we can put another foot firmly within the canon and make a clear 1 to 2 jump. Now, I'm sure there's some things in there you're going to be like, no, that's too big of a stretch, and I apologize for that, but I tried my best to any fan fiction we add is purely like, yeah, I can see that happening. That's a logical leap from what we see in the canon. Let's take a look up here. I want to answer all these questions in the first half an hour that are related to the documentary. Luke Danger says, plus there's a meta aspect I think that Tiberian Dawn gets a bit overlooked because the setting is basically 90s modern day, plus some extra bits, which nicely adds the idea of it being forgotten. That's a good point. A lot of 90s wars were forgotten. And at some point, I do want to make an out-of-universe video essay, like a regular video essay like I normally do on Tiberian Dawn, just to talk about how much I love that game and its atmosphere in a similar way to what I said about Tiberian Sun, but for like the 90s aesthetic. But I'll get to that way later. Zaptages, interesting. So it's going to be a bit like the Dune Encyclopedia, which was written as in-universe by a number of different contributors. That sounds fascinating. I need to look into that. I didn't even know that existed. But yes, that sounds exactly like what we're doing. So all of the intelligence database entries are written by people in this universe, and the talking head experts are people in this universe. Very much inspired by CNC3's intelligence database entries, which I adore. Again, I have my problems with that game, but I still love that game so much, and one of the things I love about it is the intelligence database entries, which I feel like were written by people with a lot of passion. Luke Danger says, stand out for how low-level warfare after Tiberium Wars 1 would make Tiberium Wars 1 not stand out that much. That's true. Trevin Lane says, I think that the reason that GDI tanks were using 105mm cannons on Tib Dawn is because the Soviets were defeated in the events of RA1, RA2, leading to some stagnation. Possibly. In this documentary, I'm going to be assuming that the Red Alert 1 campaign Allied ending is canon as a prequel for Tiberian Dawn. I will not be assuming that the Red Alert 1 Soviet campaign is canon. I will not be assuming that the Red Alert 2 campaign is canon. Not saying that that's wrong necessarily, but I had to draw a line somewhere because a lot of this is ambiguous and not clear from the Westwood developers. And I had to basically just put a line in the sand and be like, okay, this is what we're assuming for this documentary, just so I have something to build off of and I'm not working with shifting sand lore. Alicia Earl says, interesting. So expect some canon meets theories that sound relevant pretty much. Yeah, I'd say so. Rain Dance says, man, if y'all haven't seen No Strings Cabal and follow on Lands of Lore showcase of the Shattered Desert Temple, do that right after this. Yeah, no, it's pretty fascinating. I still need to play Lands of Lore at some point if there's a way to play that on modern computers. Looking for documentary related stuff. Okay. Michael Grodel says, don't worry, when you finish the documentary, you can immediately work on the twice as long The Making of the First Tiberium War documentary. Yeah, you know, I was thinking about that. I might just have Rogue and Aussie from the Super Challenge Bros channel just like interview me and just ask me whatever questions they want. And then maybe we'll put that up as like a members only thing, or maybe it won't be members only. I don't know. It depends. I didn't even really want to do the members stuff. The only reason I did it is because YouTube was handing out like $600 or more, depending on how big your channel was, to like start a membership. So I was like, hey, I'll take YouTube's money. So I did it. And I feel a little bad because there are people who have genuinely become members of this channel and I don't have a lot for them. So if that sounds like something you would want, is like some of the behind the scenes stuff as locked behind member only, let me know just to make it worth it. If you don't care, then I'll just release it to everyone. But I honestly, yeah, the whole thing was a mess. Trevor Lane says, yeah, RA2 really goes off the rails in a lot of places, and RA3 is freaking nuts. Yeah, RA3, at least we know it can't be a prequel to the Tiberium series because obviously time travel and everything. RA2, I know for a while Westwood was twiddling around with the idea of still reintegrating it into the canon. So I'm not going to say people are wrong if they want to integrate that as a prequel, but I personally just think it's easier and less messy if I just assume that it isn't. Luke Danger, I wouldn't mind seeing some behind the scenes stuff if you feel like sharing it. Yeah, no, if I can get to it. I mean, another thing I might do is also do some stuff where I release a lot of the unreleased stuff, because I couldn't include everything. That's the thing. Like, there's some people who had full write-ups of every single unit, structure, vehicle, and aircraft used in Tiberian Dawn from both factions. And obviously I can't use all that, which is a bummer because a lot of it is really good. I'll keep some of it. Like you may have seen Revolter Ocelot's work on the Chem Trooper that was used in the teaser. Really good stuff. So I'm going to keep some of that stuff, and some of it might be in the background while other things are going on. But I just, the sheer volume of it, I can't include it all, and it's a bummer. And there's a few other things that were included by really good writers, like things that happened in the run-up to the First Tiberium War, that happened in like the 80s or the 70s, or things that happened after the First Tiberium War. And I can't include that because the scope of what I'm doing would just make it way too long, and it would kind of break up the pacing of the documentary. Like, it really needs to end after Sarajevo, with just a little bit of like extra stuff at the end to say what the aftermath was. So unfortunately, I couldn't include a lot of that stuff. So at some point I might release that, or just have those guys release them out to the wild. And the other thing too is a lot of the intelligence database entries I've had to cut, because some of them were like a page, 2-page long, and I had to just cut it down to the relevant parts and have people voice those parts. And even the parts that they voice, I might cut it down even further for the final product. But there's a lot of really good writing. Like, there's some stuff that like Luke Danger wrote about like how to deal with bodies that are infected by Tiberium, what to do about like moving people, civilians, to places that are not infected with Tiberium. I was able to include a lot of that stuff, but there's still a lot of really cool stuff in there that I absolutely adore as a Tiberium fan, but don't work in the documentary as a piece of art and as a piece of like pacing. So it sucks because there's a lot of good writing in there that I just can't include or had to cut down. So I'm hoping that maybe we can find some sort of like central repository, and then we can dump all this stuff there at some point, because I would love to have everyone's writings up there at some point. Let's see, anything else documentary related? Hey Azura. Alicia Earl says, I'm interested in both the documentary itself and the intricacies behind the camera, audio, visuals. Once finished, it'd be cool to know the process of it took to get there, almost a in the making of. Yeah, I might do that. I feel like it'd be pretty boring, but if you think that'd be interesting, I might try that. Yeah, I love A&W Ripper. Trevin Lane says, I also maintain that I loathe the RA-3 Assault Destroyer on so many levels that I cannot describe an armored vehicle ship enthusiast. Look, RA-3 is my guilty pleasure. I love a lot of those units. I know they're freaking stupid, but like the 9-year-old boy part of my brain that loves Transformers loves all the stupid transforming tech in all of RA-3 from like a stupid Bayformers sort of level. As a military enthusiast or as a history enthusiast, I agree, it is appalling. But like the 9-year-old in me that loves Transformers, I'm just like, ooh, look, the battleship turns into a giant tank. Isn't that cool? Like, I got two sides of me. I got two wolves in me fighting. Which one wins? The one with an assault destroyer. That's the one that wins. Chase Baker says, as a member, I say that the group project and all of its content should be available to everybody. Okay. Good input. Luke Danger, scope creep, the eternal enemy of fan works because we keep wanting to add more. Yeah, I had to keep a limited scope, and otherwise this would just never stop. I basically created my script from beginning to end and was like, okay, everything that people write have to fit within this framework, and if it doesn't fit, it gets cut. And unfortunately, that's just what we had to do, or I would never finish this. Are you going to use the wiki as a source? I pretty much never use the wiki as a source. I played through the entirety of Tiberian Dawn's both campaigns on easy, just so I could get through it quickly, and recorded the entirety of it, both my gameplay and the cutscenes. And I had to go back and play all the branching paths as well and get that recorded and those cutscenes. And I'm using that as my primary source. So everything that I'm doing is kind of first-hand source. The only wiki stuff I really do is if I need a really quick reference of like, what was this mission called? And I go the list of missions from Tiberian Dawn. Or where were they? Were they in Slovakia or Slovenia? I'll look up on the wiki to kind of like remind myself. But I will never take anything that the wiki writes as canon if I can't find it firsthand first. And if it's speculatory, I'm not going to use it. Luke Danger says, and yeah, cutting down was definitely needed, especially with my stuff. Yeah, honestly, Luke Danger, yours wasn't even the longest stuff being written. There's another guy named Bob, who's also known as Irish Flyboy. He, I think, worked on some mods back in the day and some other writing projects for FanWorks. He's written some really long stuff. fantastic stuff, and I was able to include most of it. Also, Zaptages, I believe, wrote an article called An Unwelcome Harvest. I believe that was you, Zaptages. Correct me if I'm wrong. That talks about the economic impact of Tiberium and how basically the stock market had to be removed. And it's absolutely fascinating. I don't know if I'm the only person who thinks that's cool, but I'm also the person that read the book Darth Plagueis, which was a prequel to the Star Wars prequels, and pretty much just covers like the intricacies of controlling the banking system and the economics, because Darth Plagueis was a immune banker from the banking clan. And I find that all fascinating. It would probably be boring to most people, but I find that kind of stuff just incredibly fascinating. Orglusman, hey Snowman, did you get the revised transcript of my audio? Yes, I did. Thank you for sending all of that. I'm sorry I haven't been able to get back to you, or a lot of you. IRL stuff has basically been slamming me right now. It's a lot. I don't want to get into it, but if I haven't been responding to you, that's why. Alex Basadze says, oh gosh, I'm really behind. I just need to get to the stuff. Where did you go? Basically Snowman Wiki, pretty much. Luke Danger, no worries about having to cut it down. I know my stuff for the preparation of Tiberian World is very much scope creep, although I was hoping to help the outro. You're right, Luke Danger. It is all going basically in the outro. There's basically some overlapping voices is kind of the idea, and we're kind of touching on a lot of the stuff from there just to kind of give the importance of what the Mobiuses were doing and what Sasita was doing to basically help prepare the world for what it's going to be in Tiberian Sun. Senchat says nod stuff incoming. Sure. Trevor Lane says I have similar bad opinions on a lot of the RA3 vehicles. Fair enough. Okay, Alicia, you don't have to call me out for being old. Trevor Lane says I don't hate the game Snowman, I hate the designs as practical armored vehicles. Oh, absolutely. They completely threw anything out the window. Oh, hey, Vidit of Light. Oh gosh, running tabletop tonight and already up too late after a long shift. But all the best, Commander. Enjoy the stream. Congratulations from one DM to another. Zaptages says, put the documentary on Blu-ray and add the cut stuff as bonus materials. If I could ever figure out how to do that, I might. Maybe I'll do like a giveaway or something. No, a giveaway would be stupid. I'd just let you pay for it if you want it. Yeah, don't worry, Vidit of Light. You can come back for the VOD and hear all this. A VHS release. I would love to do a VHS release. I love VHSs and cassette tapes. You know why? Because if it's a standard of data collection or a media storage that you could toss up against a wall and it'll still work, it's a good form of media storage. That's my opinion. Okay. Luke Danger, my stuff wasn't even the longest. Okay, I'm surprised and intrigued. Yeah, I know. It's crazy. Like Summoning Salt has VHS releases. Yes, love Summoning Salt. That's my comfort watch at the end of the day. The Tiberium article, that has been fun to record. Oh, Michael Girl, did I assign you to read An Unwelcome Harvest? I think I did. I don't think I've had a chance to listen to that. I think you just sent it to me. But there's a few of you I have to get back to on like, oh yeah, how did I do? Do you want me to like change a little bit of it? I have to get back to you on that, so sorry about that. Okay, focus on documentary stuff. Little Lore Jumper, are you guys going to do a legacy section that kind of segues into Tiberian Sun? Not really. So the way it's going to be is it's going to end with the battles of Cairo and Sarajevo. There's going to be a brief section at the end kind of talking about the legacy of Nod, GDI, and Tiberium. And then it's going to end. Anything that happens in the in-between period between Sun and Dawn is going to be covered in the next History of the Brotherhood of Nod and History of GDI videos. Those are going to cover everything we know from that era, some speculation, and we're going to go from there. If any of that stuff that people wrote that takes place in that in-between period ever gets used again, it'll be used for a hypothetical Tiberian Sun documentary, which I would love to do. I don't know if I'm going to do it. If I'm being honest, this is a lot. I'm enjoying the heck out of it, but it is a lot. And when it's over, I don't know. I'm seriously thinking about, because I'm going to be married in like a year, a little over a year, and a lot is going to change in my life, and I might have a lot less time. So after this documentary is over, a part of me wants to go work with Aussie and Rogue to like make that indie video game I've always wanted to make, and just get that, finished before my life gets really hectic with like family and such. So that might be the direction I go, because the Tiberian Sun documentary would be a lot. I think it'd be less work than Tiberian Dawn because there's a lot more information on Sun, and it's a much shorter campaign than Dawn, but it would still be a lot. Okay. Okay. I don't think I missed anything. Alicia says, I appreciate you condensing the information to 30 minutes, Snowman. I'll be back later. Time to join the shenanigans your brothers ironically create. Yep, have fun with that. Vivid Light says, if I just come back and I can't ask questions in real time, haha. But yeah, sleep soon. No worries. You can always leave comments on this VOD as well, and I will do my best to answer them. So feel free to do that. Little Lore Jumper, are you going to emulate some quirks of the time? I'm not sure what you mean by that. Azura says, I was worried about making stuff too long. It was shorter, I guess, some short form. No, honestly, Azura, it's really nice that you did some short stuff, because a lot of people did long stuff, so the fact that there was a smattering of people who just wrote short stuff, really nice. There was one person who wrote nothing but quotes, that just gave me a full PDF of just quotes from random soldiers and generals on both sides throughout the war, and that was fantastic. I got to use that in multiple places, so short stuff is great. Fiddle Light says, but always let me know if you need more voice or writing work. Yes, I definitely have you up for the next 2/3, so don't worry about that. I think I gave you all the feedback from your stuff. I'll have to check again. Senshat says, there are a few companies that still get films on VHS, so maybe you can hit them up. We'll see. We'll see. I would love to do something like that, especially with the whole 90s aesthetic. That would be fantastic. Little Origin says, Tiberian Wars is most deserving of a documentary, in my opinion. I would love to do a Tiberian Wars documentary sometime in the far, far future. I also think that would be way easier because most of the intelligence database entries would already be written, and I would just keep getting people to voice that. So I think that's the one in least need of like needing to explore that area, because the Tiberian Wars has the most explored lore of any of the 3 Tiberian Wars games. Yes, 3. Okay. I think that's good. I'm all caught up. Chase Baker, how many words went into the documentary? I don't know. Too many. Little Lore Jumper. So are you going to emulate some of the technological shortcomings of the 90s? A little bit. I believe it was Luke Danger who actually wrote a fantastic article on the battlefield control mechanism in Ava, and basically postulated that everything that we're seeing when we play the game, all the little, pixelated graphics, is essentially just the battlefield control unit in Ava simplifying the battlefield into a digestible package for the commander, and it's not literally what's happening there. Soldiers aren't just like standing out in the open and shooting at each other, exchanging fire until a health bar goes down and they die. They're actually taking cover. Tanks are actually using real tactics and maneuvering, and not just sitting there and taking fire. All of this is actually, and the terrain isn't nearly as flat as it looks on the game. It's just a much more simplified thing, so the commander has an easy way to digest the information and give orders. So that is, if that answers your question, we are integrating that into the lore of like, this is why it looks this way. Zeptasia said over 9,000. Good reference. Tibsun is my favorite. I will happily help more if you do more. Absolutely. Yes. Oh, that was Luke Danger. That's right. Hey, yeah. And last one, Viditive Light. This is the last question I'll ask before we start the game. Your segment with Art Bell isn't the only time Coast to Coast has been tied to a 90s game. Someone called in once and went on about the plot character's Half-Life, and the host ate it up. Oh, really? I wonder if that's recorded on YouTube. I'd love to see that. Yeah, there's another Art Bell thing. I asked Bob, the guy who wrote the first one and voiced Art Bell, hey, can you write another one for the end? And I was like, oh, I don't know how much of this I want to spoil. Because there's some really cool things in the works that if it works out, it would be a great surprise for you guys just to find out on the documentary of like, oh my gosh, he pulled that off. So I'm going to keep that in my sleeve. But there's more stuff with Art Bell, and it could potentially be really cool if I'm able to pull off what I think I can pull off. All right. Yeah, I'll look it up Bit of Light. All right, let's get started. If you have any more questions about the documentary, let me know, but I will not be looking at every single question now. If I don't get to your question, go ahead and drop it in the comment section. Okay, well, that's a cyborg commando. Gosh, the music is so freaking cool. Let's go! I really like what the Westwood guys, I believe it was, I'm trying to remember who it was, but he was on War Stories, that YouTube channel, where he talked about Tiberian Sun, and he was talking about the fact that, like, you care about the Wolverine because of that second mission for the GDI campaign, where you get to play with nothing but the Wolverine. Like, you care about the EMP unit because you played that mission where you stopped a riot with it. Like, I just really think that that's what's missing from a lot of, like, RTS games these days. It's like missions that make you care! Keep moving, keep moving, keep moving, keep moving, keep moving! Ah! Oh, okay, we're getting hit hard. We'll come back for you guys, trust me. Ah! Yeah, no, I got you, Luke Danger. I'm going for the right side. I prefer the right side. Where's my... Oh, do I have to destroy those guys before it'll let me get an MCV? I thought for sure there was an MCV here. Alright, let's go get him. No, I want you to hit this guy. Keep moving, keep moving, keep moving. Make them undeploy. There you go. Oh, dang it, Cabal. There we go. Let's go. Now we're getting to the core of the problem. Ah. Do. Okay. Now let's get over here. Ah. Luke Danger, he said it. He said the thing. Whenever that happens, I always go, oh golly gee, he said the name of the game. In the game. That's not from anywhere. I just say that. Something me and the bros do. Okay, and boop. Let's go. Okay, if I remember correctly, because I did play through the entirety of the Firestorm campaign like 6 months ago. This is something that really benefits. I don't remember anything, never mind. I don't remember a thing. You guys are going to have to help me. Nastologic says, by the way, Snowman, I recently looked at the CNC wiki page and found out a connection between the original game and Sarajevo and had no idea that it actually happened. In what regard? Please explain. Little Lore Jumper says, I'm currently getting rinsed by fasting, so this stream is just running. Oh, that's right. Little Lore Jumper, were you the one that gave me the Muslim perspective on the Brotherhood of Nod and their religious doctrines? So I believe Ramadan is going on right now, if I'm not mistaken. I've been seeing that at the grocery stores being advertised. Yeah, good luck with that. Air superiority. Good call, Azura. Watch out for burrowing enemies. Yeah, maybe this time I'll actually put down some pavement. I think that's a from Little Lore Jumper. Well, I really appreciate you giving me that insight there. I basically got the Islamic perspective from you, and then I got some perspective from Judaism from Orgluzman, and then I also got some Latter-day Saints perspective and, you know, some classic Protestant perspective as well. So I'm really bummed that I didn't get to use a lot of it.
And retrieve the codes to disable his defenses.
I know. Okay, Styles RJ, you don't have to hit me like that. But yeah, no, I am bummed that I'm not able to use nearly as much of the religious stuff as I would have liked. Part of that is just for time. The other part of it is I'm just not an expert on those religions, and I'm a little worried that if I just say something out of pocket that I'm ignorant of, that could get me in a lot of hot water, and I could also be unintentionally disrespectful to certain religions. So for the most part, if I do include religious stuff, it'll be closer to like classic Protestantism, because that's just what I know in America. But even then, that doesn't take up a lot of... It doesn't take up a lot of stuff. Like, most of my focus is more on the psychological reasons why people would join Nod, especially since in this era of Tiberian Dawn, most people aren't joining Nod for religious reasons. Like, the religious aspect of Nod in this era is more to make people who are religious comfortable with joining Nod and not feeling like they're necessarily being betrayers to their original faith, as opposed to, like, actually trying to, like, build a religion that people can follow, at least as far as the rank and file soldier goes. Obviously, this changes quite a bit. Can I play something? Can you? No, you can't. Okay. Obviously, this changes quite a bit in the Tiberian Sun era, where things are a lot more religious. But I also think by the Tiberian Sun era, nobody really that's following Nod is really, like, actually following their religion anymore, because it's all about Cain. Anybody who's religious in Tiberian Sun era is probably with GDI by this point. At least that's what I would assume. I also think most of organized religion is probably gone by Tiberian Sun. I think there are people who individually have religion, because we still see churches around, so I think it still exists in a very decentralized fashion. But I think most larger structures for religion are probably gone by Tiberian Sun, although a lot of it probably is rebuilt by the Tiberian Wars era, once we're getting blue zones and everything. Anyway, where was I? Orglusman, is it okay if after you finish the documentary, I will send a bunch of fun CNC related video? I mean, sure, if you want. Luke Danger. Also, directly north is a massive refinery. Oh, dang it. Wow, that's early. Can we move? I think it always goes for the most mightier soldiers. I could be wrong. Oh, I was right. No, I was wrong. Oh, screw you, Cabal. Here, why don't you just take this up? You take this up, we'll put that back. Alright, we're gonna have to start building Firestorm defenses, pavement, and the works, as well as probably just get out there and start exploring. I need radar. And I need it fast. Well, we got artillery. We got artillery. But where? Oh, there it is. Okay, can I? Yeah. Can... Sir, orders received. Unit reporting. Come on, there we go. All right, let's build ourselves a radar. Okay, we're getting some cool stuff in the... Okay, somebody is texting me up a storm. What the heck is going on? Oh, it's a group text. I hate those. Everybody's just liking it. Nobody's actually saying anything important. Okay. Yeah, okay. Fun fact from Zaptagus. Milton James voices both Cabal and Bale from Diablo 2, and both villains randomly laugh at you during the last levels of the game. Also, Bale kind of looks like the Cyborg Reaper. Interesting. Okay, hold on a second. You guys were saying some interesting things back there, and I need to check that out.
Building. Construction complete. Building. Construction complete. Construction complete. Building.
Alright, let's build ourselves a war factory.
Building.
Alright. What did Luke Danger say up here? Luke Danger. Anyone who's religious in this era is probably GDI at this point. Oh, the irony. Why is that ironic? Styles RJ says he might have a point though. Why join Nod, which is full of religious fanatics, when you can join GDI and have more power? I'm not sure what you're talking about. Luke Danger. Also, pavement will help. You will also need 2 refineries, technically, anyways. And yeah, some jump jet infantry will also be helpful in dealing with their artillery. Not a bad idea.
Training.
Vid of Light. When the documentary comes out, will you include links to all written materials?
Stations and retrieve the codes to disable his defenses.
That's a really cool idea, actually.
New construction options.
Okay, what do we need?
Building.
Sir, moving out.
Ready.
Orders loud and clear. Loud and clear.
Silos needed.
No silos are needed.
Unit reporting. Moving out. Sir?
No,
Yes, sir.
finish that.
Unit ready. Unit ready.
Okay.
Waiting orders. Yes, sir. Orders.
Do. That's a really good idea, Vid of Light. I think I want to do that. That would be a fantastic idea. Or Guzman, we found a bunch of green rocks near a river. We can make a religion out of this. Luke Danger says, yeah, unless you want to be part of Nod's ecclesiastical hierarchy. Luke Danger says, it's ironic because Nod is the faction that is the most overtly religious, even if their own religion, rather than Christianity, Hinduism, etc. True. All right, I'm not going to read all of these, unfortunately. Michael says, hey, all this documentary stuff is making me want to do something similar on a far less scale for Red Alert 1, since it's my favorite CNC game. Hey, if you want to do that, feel free. I will be happy to contribute however much you want.
New construction
What
options.
are you doing?
Building. Unit ready.
Yeah,
Infantry reporting.
that would be super fun.
Construction complete. Building. Construction complete.
Okay.
Building.
Let's build
Construction complete.
some of these. Let's get some silos.
Yes, sir.
Construction complete.
And let's get some air superiority and some more Titans, because we could always use more Titans.
Construction complete.
Let's get a Firestorm generator.
Building.
Infantry report out. Yes, sir.
All right, let's get you guys up in the air.
Loud and
Unit
clear.
ready.
Sir, you got it. You got it.
Okay. Nastologics. True to the series' need for a mirror to real-life events, Sarajevo was most likely chosen as the point of most attention to the Tiberian universe. True, given that the Bosnian War had just happened. Luke Danger. And indeed, Styles, though I imagine some tried to make their own thing in the chaos of the Tiberian Age.
Unit ready.
Bit of light. Danger Renegade, Renegade does have you rescuing clergy and mentions that clergy tend to be opposed to Nod.
Loud and clear.
Oh, I see. Oh, look at that. You got you guys. Nope.
Orders received. Moving
Construction
out.
complete. Unit ready.
We're going to need more power.
Waiting
Wow, those Banshees are hardy.
Unit lost.
Lost? What are you...
Construction complete.
Oh, right. Yeah, maybe. I hate that they land immediately.
loud and clear. Loud and clear.
Unit ready. Construction complete.
All
Building.
right, let's save and keep going. You also get access to the Iron Cannons levels to help blast annoying obelisks. Be mindful of your target, given that you need to capture things. This is true.
Building.
Hopefully this will keep the missiles from destroying us.
Construction complete. Building. Construction complete.
Unit ready.
Building.
Moving out. Yeah. Loud and clear.
Construction complete.
Okay, I think we're good on that front. Let's get you guys moving.
On my
All right, what should I do next, guys? Do you know a secret way to get, like, past everybody?
Building.
To get to those missile launchers or the
Complete. Building.
TV stations?
Construction complete. Building.
Also, I'm going to need pavement.
Complete. Building.
Unit ready. Unit ready. Moving out. Sir, on my way.
Michael Grohl says, speaking of Bosnia, I find it interesting that Yugoslavia would have either been breaking up when Tiberian Rise or already broken up. Yeah, I added a bit of lore to that myself, where basically Nod was the one to end the Bosnian War. Holy crap, when did that happen?
Building.
Waiting orders, sir. Yes, sir.
Construction complete. New construction options. Building.
Okay.
Infantry reporting
Zeptages says, Nod feels more like a cult than an actual religious institution, like if Heaven's Gate became terrorist. In a lot of ways, yes, especially by the time you get to the Tiberian Sun era. It definitely feels that way. Alright, let's build some of you guys. Hello, what have we here? Oh no! Oh wow, oh gosh, there's Visceroids everywhere. Disgust. I had to explain it. If you guys know who Psyche is, she's on my, she collaborates a lot of my Snowman's Playground channel for the Rhythm Doctor. Ouch! Walkthroughs. She's voicing, Dr. Sydney Mobius. And I had to explain to her what a Visceroid is. And she's not familiar with the CNC, universe. She just kind of had to get used to it. And oh my gosh, the look on her face when I explained to her what a Visceroid is and how they get formed. She was genuinely horrified. Sometimes I forget just how much body horror there is in the Tiberian universe. Like, it's genuinely a fate worse than death, depending on if you're sentient or not, once you're converted. What the? I mean, okay. I love the way they say whoops. Alright, let me get this up and ready to go in case I need to click that. Oh, we're already getting low on the silos. We need more silos. Wait, Luke Danger says something important about the missile stuff. The missile silos are on the bottom left corner and can be attacked by amphibious units, plus they're isolated. You can capture them. I can capture them! Well, hot dog! I don't know why I decided to talk like a 50s man. Okay, let's get some more power in here. Naslog says, and although the mission is supposed to take place in Sarajevo, there they go again. Okay. Temple Strike, GDI mission to Dawn. It has its pre-mission map mistakenly pointing to the northeast of Sarajevo. I think that's accurate. I took that to mean basically that most of the battles in Tiberian Dawn take place in the outskirts of these cities as opposed to the actual cities themselves. So that's how I basically wrote it for the documentary as well. Ginger says, you'll just need to kill a vein hole first. In the meantime, you can attack the refinery base on the east side via the cliff if you want more tib. Good idea. Oh, we got something here. Vid of Light. I reached out to a cosplay group I am for female voice actors. One expressed interest, but not sure if she got anything in. If she still wants to contribute, feel free to have her sign the Google form and send something in. Again, anything past the deadline, you are far less likely to get anything because I've already assigned roles, things are already done, things are already set in stone. But she's welcome to give it a try. Just know that priority is for people who already got in before the deadline. Alicia Earl says, not gonna lie, I don't know the lore of it, but considering Psyche's reaction, should I know? Ah! Shoot, where are you guys? Ah. Oh, missile launch. Are we good? Are we good? I think we got it. I think I got the missile. No, I didn't! Okay, I'm gonna load back. Okay, we're gonna head back now. Everyone through. That means everyone. Okay. Alright, we got this. Where's the missile? There it is, and yes! See, that's what I miss, man. I freaking missed that.
You got it.
Where was the... If I ever make an RTS, and I hope to one day, I just think that there should be a focus on innovative stuff like that. Because who does that in RTS these days? You can block a super weapon from attacking with... Like that's just not something that's done these days. Oh. Move. Oh, okay, we got it. We got the... Hey, why don't you just...
Construction complete.
Here we go.
Firestorm defense offline.
Of course. Everyone down here. I'm gonna need to make the pavement.
Building.
Look at all you guys. I'm just hanging out down here.
Complete.
Whoop! There he goes.
Firestorm defense offline.
Love the Firestorm defense. And whoops.
Firestorm defense offline.
Oh, hold up. And you're gone.
Firestorm defense offline. Building.
What? Artillery? Since when?
Construction complete.
Waiting order. Loud and clear. Loud and clear.
I really hate that they blew that up. I did not want that blown up just yet, and they blew it up early. Stupid banshees. Hey, none of that.
Unit reporting. Yes, sir.
Low power.
Cloak unit detected.
Oh, look at you guys. You're just having a field day today, aren't you?
Capture the stations and retrieve the codes to disable
I'm aware.
access. Cloak unit detected.
All right, get up here. Hey, that's my power plant.
Building.
Oh, it's you.
Sir, my way.
Gotcha.
Construction complete.
How you like that? You like them apples?
Building.
Put that in your Christmas spike and poke. But they got my thing.
Sir, yes, sir.
You should get out of here.
Received.
Building.
How do you still have?
Unit ready. Construction complete.
Okay.
Building.
Okay, somebody's mentioned Supreme Commander lets you counter super weapons. Good to know. Good to know.
Construction complete.
Okay, let's get you.
Building. Construction complete. Building. Construction complete.
Where's my? There it is.
Building.
All right, let's get
Construction complete.
you guys up here.
Yes, sir.
Unit ready. Building.
Oh, really? Really?
Unit reporting.
Is that what we're doing?
Yes, sir.
Building.
Sir. Waiting orders. On my way. Yes, sir.
Construction complete.
Unit reporting. Yes, sir. Sir, moving out. Waiting orders received. Sir.
Dang it.
Sir. 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 Waiting orders. Sir. No problem. Infantry reporting. Got it.
Unit ready.
Ready. Over and out. Form up. Waiting orders.
Base
No
under
problem.
attack. Unit lost.
You're probably gonna tell me a bunch of really helpful stuff right now, guys, and I'm just not paying attention. Oh, okay, well, you know, maybe don't send a missile launch. Maybe don't.
On my way.
There we go.
Firestorm.
That Firestorm defense is paying for itself already.
Building.
Okay, save.
Construction.
And look at the chat. Okay, Trevor Lane probably told me something really useful. Or not. Never mind. Okay.
Harvester under attack.
Well, guys, let's go get him. Actually, better idea. You go get him. Let's get that air superiority we're talking about.
Unit ready.
All right, so we're going to need... I think I lost all of my guys. We're going to need more Tiberium soon, so let's focus on that first. And then we'll go get the missiles, because, you know, we seem to be doing pretty well against those for the time being. Oh, look at all that Tiberium.
Ready.
I love the Vinifera crystals. Oh, never mind. We're a host. Oh, look at all the Tiberium.
Unit ready.
Let's get back up here, and then we'll get some pavement down as soon as we can. Oh, we're getting stealth now? I really hope we're not getting stealth.
Ready. Building. Construction complete. Building.
Okay. Alright, let's just explore up here and see what's what. Okay, I see we're taking the Canadians to task for their war crimes. Super fun. Oh, good idea.
Construction.
Good idea. Oh, hello. You really think you could stand toe-to-toe with a Titan? That's cute. Alright, what did you say back up here? You said there was things we can capture? I feel like Luke Danger had some important stuff about refineries and things like that.
Capture these stations and retrieve the codes to disable his defenses. Base under attack. Construction complete. Building.
Why does it take so long to make base defenses in this game for the GDI?
Construction complete. Building.
Can you guys have some sense of self-preservation?
Construction complete. Unit lost. Building. Construction complete. Building. Construction complete.
You guys should probably get back. Surprisingly effective. Not gonna lie. Bleh. Solomon couldn't have done the things he did if the people meant to send him stuff, replace people who were drunk off their butts. I don't know where this conversation went, but we need more Titans.
Building.
Shoot. Let's get you guys up here too. Okay, get back, get back. We're gonna need to send you and you. And that means we're sending you.
Unit lost.
I know there's SAM sites over here, but there's only so much we can do. Oh, here we go. Yes, let's capture that.
Training.
Let's capture everything while we're at it. And you know what? Let's build a GDI upgrade center too, because why the heck not?
Unit ready. Missile launch detected.
Okay, good to know. No one's over it.
Unit reporting.
Unit ready.
On my way. Yes, sir.
Unit ready.
Did it get hit?
Construction complete. Unit ready.
I'll just let it run fully.
Yes, sir. You got it.
Unit lost.
Unit reporting. Yes, sir.
Unit
Yes,
ready.
sir.
Unit ready.
Let's keep moving.
Store defense
Moving out. Unit
Good
reporting.
to know.
No problem.
Alright, save. Next logic. Snowman, you just reminded me of the original Far Cry game for 2004 because of that line says, how do you like them apples? Man, nostalgia hits deep. I've played a lot of the Far Cry games. I have not played the first one.
On my way. Moving out. Yes, sir. On my way. No problem. Moving out. You got it.
And the stealth tanks are made of wet tissue paper. Yeah, they just keep sending those tick tanks.
You got it.
Unit lost. New construction options.
Okie dokie.
Unit reporting.
Alright, what do we do next? I gotta take out... Are you guys whole? You are! There are no SAM sites over here?
On my way.
Wow, this got built fast.
Orders received. Infantry reporting.
And you guys, move on up.
On my way. Sir,
Can you guys,
orders
like,
received.
do your job?
You got it.
Construction complete.
Got it.
Sir.
You can't stop us. There will always be more Titans. There will always be more Titans. Yes. Yes. Okay. I think we're doing good. I could be wrong, guys, but I think we're doing good. Zaptasia says, you know, it would be interesting if you could have another person play as the AI during the campaign. Would probably be a nightmare to balance, though. Yeah, probably. Remember the Titans. That's a film all of us saw growing up, isn't it? At least for our age bracket.
Waiting orders. Orders received. Orders received.
Okay.
Waiting orders. Pilot reporting. Unit reporting.
Capture these stations and retrieve the codes to disable his defenses.
Moving out.
Unit lost.
Let's go. I love the Orca bombers. Just the fact that they're shaped like World War I bombers, and yet are still futuristic, I just think is super cool.
Yes, sir. On my way.
Don't let them get away. Dang it. And you're back.
Base under attack. Building. Construction complete.
Waiting orders received.
Construction
Yes, sir.
complete.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Let's get you up here. And let's take these refineries once and for all.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
here we go. This is the perfect time. This is the perfect time. Man, you harvesters move fast. Since when do you guys move so fast?
Orders received. Yes, sir. Engineering problem. Waiting orders. Engineering
Go, 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 go.
Engineering
Building captured.
No, 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 don't do it yet.
Engineering, no problem.
Building captured.
Sir, yes, sir.
What the? What the? Since when was there a hole there? Okay, wait. Can we load back? Oh, look at this.
Sir.
Unit ready. Building.
Where the shrimp is my Oh my gosh, this thing can shoot through, but they can't? That's awesome!
Unit ready.
Isn't that incredible, guys? The rocket-propelled grenades can shoot through the Firestorm defense, but they can't. That's so cool. Take that. Oh, great, we got more. You guys coming?
Sir. Yes, sir. Unit ready, sir. Waiting orders received. Sir.
I need all these Titans over here, stat.
Yes, sir. Waiting, moving out. Moving out. Unit ready.
Okay, we're good. Safe. What's the black sheep of the series? We talk about generals or RA3?
Yes, sir.
Ow, what the? Okay, no, no. Oh, stop, 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 stop! Where's the... Okay.
Unit lost.
Whew, just in time.
Defense
Waiting
offline.
orders. On my way. Sir. Yes, sir. Orders received. Unit ready. Waiting orders.
No, don't shoot the harvester. We want those.
Yes, sir. Unit ready. Moving out. On my way. Awaiting orders.
Shoot.
Sir.
Unit ready.
Sir. Yes, sir. Orders received. Warm up.
Come on. And of course.
Building.
Waiting orders. You got it.
Construction complete. Unit ready.
Unit moving out. Engineering. No problem. Engineering. Engineering. Affirmative. Awaiting orders. Yes, sir.
Building captured.
Sir.
No, no. Focus on these guys.
Yes, sir.
I hate you.
Ion cannon ready.
Awaiting orders. Affirmative, sir.
Building captured.
No problem.
Building captured. Subterranean unit detected. Building.
It'd be nice if you didn't show up over here.
Detected. Building. Subterranean unit detected. Building. Construction complete. Building. Construction complete.
Ready.
Building.
Away we go.
Construction complete.
Death from above.
Can you guys give it a rest for half a second?
Unit ready. Yes, sir. Awaiting orders. Unit reporting. Unit, yes, sir. Moving out.
Okay.
Training.
Well, we're doing good, I think. Ugh. Zaptatus says, maybe the Firestorm defense acts like shields in Dune. They deactivate when you fire a gun to let the bullets out. Interesting. Yeah, you're right, Nest Logic. It was originally, the first Far Cry was released by Crytek,
Capture
not
these
Ubisoft.
stations and retrieve the codes to disable his defenses.
You got it. I
Unit
think
ready.
how come I don't have that? Do I need one of these? Oh, interesting.
Unit ready.
Okay, we're getting a lot more money now, which is great.
Building. Construction complete.
Engineering.
Unit ready.
No problem.
On hold.
Yes, sir.
Get you over
no
here.
Problem. Waiting orders.
We'll take the barracks and then we can
Yes,
make
sir.
more. Oh, there's a lot of power up there too. I might as well take that as well. I could always use more power. Ugh. Okay. What are we doing now? Let's build a mobile war factory.
Building.
Let's build some more Titans, and then we'll build hover MLRSs, and we'll be good to go.
Unit reporting.
What time is it? It's almost 12? Huh.
Yes, sir.
Interesting. Is it? I'm not sure, Styles RJ. Maximum Titans. Not a bad idea, Trevor Lane.
Yes, sir. Engineering. No problem, sir. No problem. Engineering. Affirmative.
Building captured. Building captured. Training.
Unit on my way.
Can you not?
Unit reporting. Unit ready. Unit ready.
Thank you.
On my way.
wet tissue paper.
Engineering affirmative. No problem.
Unit
Okay.
ready. Unit ready.
Just keep it coming.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. No problem.
Unit ready.
Waiting orders.
Let's also get one of these up there.
Building
No
captured.
problem.
Construction complete. Unit
That
ready.
should do the trick.
Waiting orders. Affirmative.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm not nearly looking at the chat as much as I used to. This is taking a lot of my focus. Luke Danger, you can probably start pulverizing the main base or kill the vein hole towards the missile silos.
Building captured.
Is the main base right there?
Ready.
Sir.
Because if so, like, I'll do it.
Yes, sir.
Unit
I didn't realize it was that close.
Affirmative. Yes, sir. No
unit
problem.
ready.
No problem.
Building captured. Training.
Waiting orders. Orders
Missile
received.
launch detected.
Up.
Unit ready.
See, this is a fun dynamic. This is a fun mechanic. This is what we call a fun game mechanic.
Base under attack.
Okay, well, they didn't attack there.
Firestorm defense offline.
Unit reporting. Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Unit ready.
Fire actually does damage in this game. Alright, what did Luke Danger say? North of the refinery is a bridge guarded by a pair of obelisks and a bunch of units to get to the third station. That's pretty sparse. The main base is westward. Gotcha. That's why I appreciate the original Far Cry, even as a black sheep, even much better than Far Cry New Dawn or Far Cry 6, given what Ubisoft's doing now. I did not like Far Cry 6. I wanted to. I really wanted to. I was excited about that game.
Building captured.
Two main bases, really. One by the central station and one where you attack the back of the western base. Whoa!
Unit
I captured the radar. Now I can see this.
Unit reporting.
Oh, no. You know what? Back it up. Just back that up. Yeah. Okay, interesting. Now, what are you doing, sir? There's plenty of Tiberium over here. There's no reason for you to do that. All right.
Waiting orders. Sir.
All right, let's...
Waiting orders. Sir.
new construction options.
Unit. Yes, sir. No problem. Unit ready. You got it.
Unit lost.
Let's get you up here. Where's my other group of guys?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Oh, wow. Interesting. Oh, no! Well, that's unfortunate. We're going to need some hover MLRSs now. If we didn't need them before, we certainly need them now.
Building.
Waiting. Yes, sir. Unit reporting. Unit reporting. Waiting orders. On my way.
Unit lost.
Sir. Orders received.
Set up shop over here, buddy.
Unit ready.
Ugh.
Capture stations.
It could.
and
It
retrieve
definitely
codes
could.
To disable his defenses.
I like to keep it for when I really need it, though.
Sir. Sir.
And now I really need something. Are you going to go all the way through? Okay, fine. Fine by me.
Primary building set.
Unit reporting.
Yeah, buddy.
Construction complete. Base under attack.
Face the power of all my SAM sites.
Unit
What's that over there? That looks important. Luckily, that station is very lightly defended. There's a back way in the east side of the map. Another destroyable cliff. Good to know. I'm going to need more silos.
building.
Glad they don't have a ton of anti-air. That would be real annoying.
Building.
Gosh, the music slaps so much in this game.
Construction complete. Unit
Mastologic.
ready.
Despite the flaws, the original Far Cry is my top 3 favorite Far Cry games, right with Far Cry 3 and Blood Dragon, because that's simply I haven't played other Far Cry games. Yeah, my favorite Far Cry game is probably still Far Cry 5. It's probably because it was the first Far Cry I played. But I love the setting. I love fighting a cult. I love the American weapons. It's great. It's fantastic, and I love the amount of freedom you get in that game. Far Cry 4 was really fun too. I don't think I enjoyed it as much as Far Cry 3. I tried playing Far Cry 2, but a lot of the quest structure is really antiquated. There needs to be a lot of... Far Cry 2 needs a remake or a remaster with just like some quality of life features added, and it would be one of the top 10 Far Cries in my opinion. But I should play the original Far Cry at some point. I think it's on Xbox backwards compatibility, so it wouldn't be hard to get access to. Alright, let's get up here.
Yes, sir. Sir. Sir.
Unit ready. Building.
Waiting orders.
Alright, what's over here? Oh, found these guys.
Construction complete.
And more power plants.
Unit ready.
I guess we'll go over here.
Launch detected.
Okay, well, you know, I don't think it's going towards me anymore. It's probably going to hit over here now.
Orders received.
Construction complete.
On my way.
Unit ready.
Sir.
Firestorm defense line.
Unit
Unit
reporting.
ready.
Unit ready.
Alright,
Yes, sir.
back up here.
Waiting orders. Orders received. Sir.
Just destroy the power.
got it.
Oh,
Yes,
look,
sir.
here they
No
come.
problem.
Let's save again. For the Xbox, there's Far Cry Instincts and Evolution, which seem to be better than the PC version. Good to know. Oh, that's right. Yeah, Michael Bean played Far Cry Blood Dragon. I forgot about that. Blood Dragon, yeah, is one of my top favorites as well. Love Blood Dragon.
Yes, sir. No problem. Awaiting orders. Sir.
All right,
Yes, sir.
let's see what's up here.
Orders received. Orders received. Orders received.
Whoa.
Yes, sir. You got it. Moving out.
Missed that. Oh, hello.
You got it.
Base
Gotcha.
under attack.
Okay, let's...
Building. Parts
Uh,
under attack.
Oh, really? Oh, that's what we're doing. Okay, well, what the frick happened to my... Oh, we lost it. Okay, well...
Building. Unit lost.
Yes, Michael Bean, or as I like to call him, Mr. Bean.
On my way.
Unit ready.
Unit ready.
I really like the design for the Mobile War Factory. Kind of sad it never came back.
On my way. Unit reporting. Unit ready. Sir.
Yeah, might as well finish it.
Unit ready. Cloak unit detected. Cloak unit detected.
Where is my...
Waiting orders.
Can you not? Can you not, guys?
Sir.
Unit lost.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Unit ready.
Where the heck is my... There it is.
Building.
Okay,
Unit ready.
now let's save. That's better. Yeah, I gotta do something about the gate.
Moving out.
Loot danger. I don't think so. Unfortunately, though, you can take out
Capture
Tethers of
these
Power with ion
stations
cannon, shut
and
down
retrieve
special
the
objects.
codes to disable his defenses.
On my way. Yes, sir.
Ready.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
There you go.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Cloaked unit detected.
Waiting orders, sir. Orders received. Yes, sir.
All right, let's get up here.
Yes, sir.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Gosh dang it. Okay, can we load that back?
Subterranean unit detected.
Yes, sir. On my way.
Can we destroy this thing with one Orca Strike? We can! Haha! Sorry, not Orca Strike. Ion Cannon.
Moving out. Yes, sir.
Cloaked
Orders
unit
received.
detected.
Moving out.
Ion Cannon. Ion Cannon.
Yes, sir.
Does whatever an Ion Cannon can do.
Cloaked unit detected.
Can you survive in your temple? No, you can't. I just Ion Cannon you. Look out. Here comes the Ion Cannon.
Waiting order. You got it.
Trevor Lane says, build some forward defenses at the refinery base and more war factories to make Titans factory. Does that still work? Building more war factories actually makes the Titans build? I thought that was only an RA1 and CNC tipped on. I was not aware that that was a thing.
On my way.
Good to know.
Yes, sir.
Let's go.
Yes, sir.
I know the MLRSs can be a little bit like wet tissue paper too, but in numbers, they do a lot of damage. They're very versatile against air units.
Unit reporting out.
All right. So I'm thinking
Construction.
to destroy the core defender, I want to do the ion cannon on the bridge thing because that's just the most fun.
Cloaked unit detected.
But we'll get some comments in the chat to see what you guys want.
Moving out. Yes, sir. Waiting orders. Yes, sir. Infantry.
Cloaked unit detected. Building.
It does seem a bit faster.
Yes, sir. On my way.
All right, where's another war factory?
Building.
Mass Titan the Defender. You could.
On my way. Moving out. On my way.
Unit ready.
Yes, sir. Moving out. You got it. Yes, sir. On my way. Yes, sir.
Unit lost. Unit ready.
Oops.
Unit lost.
Yes, sir.
You weren't kidding. This is pretty lightly defended.
Pilot. Sir.
Base under attack. Construction complete. Harvester under attack. Building.
Okay, not really sure how that... Oh, I must have missed a missile.
Construction complete.
Waiting. Yes, sir.
Okay, you know what?
Unit ready.
I've had enough of you guys.
Orders received. Sir. No problem. No problem.
Unit lost.
No problem. Yes, sir. No problem. Moving out.
Thank you.
Moving out.
Unit ready.
Orders received.
Face the superiority of GDI.
Waiting orders received. Over and out. Over and out. Waiting orders. Pilot reporting. Waiting orders. Over and out. Sir. Orders received. Orders received. Unit reporting. You got it.
Give me more Titans.
Preparing.
Orgler's. Hey, Snowman, did you play Spec Ops: The Line, the darkest FPS out there? Do you feel like you hear it? I have not. I know the whole story of it. I don't know. Like, I understand its importance within the grander gaming landscape, and maybe I had to be there to play it the first time without realizing the twists and everything.
On my way.
I always kind of felt like it was a little overrated, and I'm not trying to be contrarian,
Yes, sir.
like hipster, like, oh, I didn't think it was that great. Like,
Yes, sir.
I get that it was important.
On my way.
I think my only like criticism of it is that it falls in line with a lot of games that try to do that kind of thing and say, oh, look what you did, look what you did. And it's like, well, I didn't have any other choice, did I? Like, I'm playing a video game. I have to keep moving forward. Like, I think the first Bioshock did a really good job of, like, satirizing that idea of, like, you're just doing what the game tells you to do. Because it's not like it was saying, like, oh, you should have been able to, like, say no, you awful person. It was like, no, you couldn't say no. Both because it's a video game, and also because in-universe, spoiler alert, you know, you're being mind-controlled through the phrase to actually do what you do. So it was really cool. It had something interesting to say about game design as well, like working on an in-universe story level. Whereas I feel like games like Spec Ops: The Line and other ones that do that, like, oh, aren't you a horrible person? Like Far Cry 5, I think, kind of falls into the same line as well, where it's like, oh, you should have left things alone, you know, violence begets violence, and you really should have just left. And it's like, yeah, but it's still an evil doomsday cult, and, like, I can't just leave. And, like, what am I supposed to do, not play the game? Like, you're making me feel bad for playing your game? Like, really? Whereas I feel like it was handled a lot better in Bioshock 2, and I know I'm biased because I love Bioshock 2, but I think it handled it better because in that one, it was, okay, you can do whatever you want, play however you want, and we'll actually give you the choice. Like, you don't have to kill the 3 main people. You don't have to harvest all the little sisters. Like, you can play the game the way you're supposed to. So if you get a bad ending and they say, shame on you, you should have done better, it's like, well, yes, you actually had the option to do better, and if you got a bad ending, that is genuinely on you for being, like, making bad choices to be a bad person. Whereas in things like Spec Ops: The Lines and Far Cry 5, it's like, oh, shame on you for being this way, and it's like, well, I didn't have another choice, really, did I? And yes, I know about the secret ending in Far Cry 5. That doesn't count because, you know, you're not playing the game. Anyway, sorry, that was my rant. Still a great game. Spec Ops: The Lines is still absolutely, like, seminal and important for the gaming landscape and storytelling. That's just my minor quibble with it. Luke Danger. Spec Ops: The Lines points is you can always turn off the game, so you wouldn't have WP'd those people if you just turn off the game and left well enough alone. Yeah, and I don't think I think that's stupid, because of course you're going to play the game. You bought it. You paid, like, what, $40 for it? I don't know how expensive games were back then. It certainly wasn't $70, $80. Goodness grief. It's like this, like, you're not going to turn off the game. You spent money on it. Like, you're not a horrible person for engaging in the game, but the game treats you like that. And I know you're supposed to get in with it and not take it personally. Like, I get that. But, like, it just loses some of its punch when it's like, oh, aren't you awful? And it's like, well, I'm doing what you told me to do. Whereas something that gives you a bit more choice to it, like a Red Redemption 2 or something like that. If something awful happens in the end and it's like, you should have changed your ways, it's like, well, I actually had the option to change my ways, so that actually has merit. You know, it's like the whole idea of, like, destiny versus free will. If I'm destined to be the way I am, and I'm, crap, I didn't fix that. Oh, look at that clutch. Replay that. ESPN wants the replay. Ah, crap. You, get back here and fix this. Dang it, I just lost my hand of nod. You know, I'm gonna look back. I want the hand of nod. What? No. No. How did I not save? I've been save scumming this whole time. Oh. Oh. I save like a madman, and the one time I don't is when it bites me in the butt. Let's read the comments. Okay. Luke Danger, exactly. Making you feel bad for playing the game is just bad game design. Why should I give them my money if I'm just going to be sneered at for playing the game? Okay, you get it. Okay, so that's not a bad opinion. Snowman, were you ever the stereotypical nerd 15-year-old with a retainer and was bullied and you're practically a boogeyman to girls? I didn't chase girls, really, at all in my teenage years. I was very much focused on my education, so I missed out on that, unfortunately. I probably would have been that person but I never got the opportunity to find out for certain. Okay, let's keep moving. Blah. Styles RJ, isn't the secret ending to Far Cry 5 canon? Hard to tell. Most of the Ubisoft seems like they want to ignore Far Cry 5, so they keep making Far Cry games. Let's see. Remember, no Russian. Yeah. Alex Bisatze, turning the game off is such a cop-out. It is. It really is. Styles RJ, I'm not a horrible person. I spent a lot of money on this. I want value. Yeah, isn't that what all executives say? Yeah, except ICE paid like $40 to $60 for a video game, and they fired an entire studio for failing to make a product that they told them to make, even though the whole industry says we don't want this. I think I'm a little less evil than that. Luke Danger, well, the second station has a relatively exposed con yard if you want the not arsenal. Okay. All right, let's do this. Let's do this again.
On my way.
Capture these stations and retrieve the codes to disable his defenses. Unit
All right, where's to the system?
Unit crash received. You got it.
All right, let's just build more war factories, and also let's take care of this. Let's take care of this, for goodness sake.
unit detected.
Oh, look at that. We got a bunch.
Unit ready.
Come here, you. Oh, did we save it? Did we save it?
On my way. On my way. On my way. Yes, sir. On my way. Yes,
Thank
sir.
you.
On my way. Orders received. Unit reporting.
Blah, 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 blah.
Construction complete. Building. Construction complete.
Where's the pavement?
Building.
Unit reporting. Yes,
Construction
sir. On my way.
complete. Building. Construction complete. Building. Construction complete. Building. Construction complete. Building. Construction complete. Building.
Orders received.
Construction complete. Building. Construction complete. Building. Building. Construction complete. Building. Construction complete.
There we go.
Building. Construction complete. Building. Construction complete. Base under attack.
All right, let's actually save for a change.
Building.
Sir. On my way. Unit
Unit
ready.
ready.
Sir. Yes, sir.
Go join your friends.
Unit ready. Awaiting orders.
Zaptasia, Snowman, if you could have another expansion for Tiberian Sun, what would it include? The Forgotten as a full faction.
Missile launch detected.
Okay. I would love an entire campaign just for the Forgotten. Maybe their history, maybe the aftermath. I would love that.
Unit detected.
I think that would be really cool.
Unit lost. Firestorm defense offline.
That would be really cool, I said.
Construction complete.
Spell my lines.
Building. Subterranean unit.
Oh, of course it's here. Didn't I tell you to take care of this Tiberium, guys? That was like the one thing I told you to do. You, eat that.
You got it.
Building.
Unit ready.
Unit
No
detected.
problem. No problem.
Cloak unit.
Thank you. Get back up here.
Unit reporting.
Kill it.
Construction complete. Cloak unit.
Yeah. Alright, give me 2 more Orca Bombers,
Building.
and a Partridge and a Pear Tree.
Building.
Okay. And we'll get some pavement down there. Honestly, if I could get one brand new game for the Tiberian series that wasn't like CNC4, I would say a game that takes place in between dawn and sun that shows the complete collapse of civilization. I think that would be fantastic.
Unit ready. Building.
Yeah. I don't like you. I don't like you, so I just want you off the map. Is it too much to ask?
On my way.
Construction complete. Unit ready.
I want the pavement, and then get me another war factory.
Capture these stations and retrieve the codes to disable his defenses.
Sounds good, Ava.
Waiting order. Yes, sir.
Ava's like the one voice I never get tired of.
Unit ready. You got it.
I don't know why.
Ready.
Are you seriously part of this group? Because you shouldn't be.
Waiting orders.
Cloak unit detected. Base under attack. Unit ready.
Waiting orders.
Wow, really? When it rains, it pours, huh?
Cloak unit detected. Construction complete.
What are you doing?
Sir. Orders received. On my way.
Building. Unit lost.
Thank you.
Unit ready. You got
Unit lost.
Let's go stomp some people. Let's go stomp them with Titans. No, don't abort them. Oh my gosh, I just can't click right today, can I? Yeah. Oh, hey, Runwish. How you doing?
Complete.
Saw your last video. Good work. Hope you make more.
orders received.
HSC, I have a question for you, but I doubt that I can fit the smaller message. I'll send multiple messages in the chat regarding it. I'll try to keep up.
Moving out. Yes, sir.
Alright, you guys do your
Orders
thing.
received. Yes, sir.
Unit repaired.
Sir. Orders received.
Okay, let's get you guys in pairs.
Building. Building.
Sir. No.
Construction complete.
Okay, 7. Let's go.
Sir.
8 and 9.
Waiting orders.
That should do the trick. Alright, Runwish has got questions. Runwish has got questions. Gotta keep an eye out for Runwish.
Unit ready. Yes, sir.
Ava is best girl, Azura.
Yes, sir.
Especially Tiberian Sun Ava. That's my favorite version of Ava.
Yes, sir. Orders received.
Ah, fudge, I forgot. At least I saved this time. Mhm.
Unit ready. Moving out.
Okay, not enough Titans.
Building. Unit ready.
Where's my iron can? Still not ready. Which kind of sucks now that I think about it, because Far Cry 5 is a DLC expansion, Lost on Mars, and I wanted to play it, but sadly I need to download both. I played a little bit of Lost on Mars. I didn't finish it yet. It was pretty fun. Hello, missile launch, missile launch.
Unit ready.
Boom.
Firestorm defense offline.
Yeah, it is.
Waiting on my way.
Where's my iron cannon? Alright, so ah, goodness, keep missing this.
Unit ready. Construction complete. Building. Building. Unit ready. Training.
I do wish for an easier interface. The fact that I have to scroll up and down for everything, like, I kind of can quickly get to where I need to go because I played this game so much, but, like, I do miss the tab system that was introduced in Red Alert 2.
Ion cannon ready.
Alright, we got the ion cannon, boyos.
Construction
I
complete.
wonder what the bros are doing.
Building.
Alright, let's go get them.
Ready.
Kerplunk.
Sir. Waiting.
See, I know that the ion cannon is pretty underwhelming in previous games before CNC3. And I'll be honest, especially in Tiberian Dawn, it is absolutely pathetic in Tiberian Dawn. But in Tiberian Sun, I kind of like it. It's not so powerful that you have to devote all your energies to destroying it, or else, you know, you've lost the game. Like it really was in all CNCs from like Generals onward, maybe even Red Alert 2. But it was a strategic asset. It wasn't meant to be able to destroy an entire thing. I know early manuals were like, oh, it could destroy entire armies. Like, no, it couldn't. Not until CNC3. But as a strategic asset that helps you take out important things like EMP places, or obelisks of light, or artillery structures, it's really cool. I like it a lot. Like the Tiberian Sun ion cannon, I think is one of my favorite versions of the ion cannon.
Yes, sir.
Cloaked unit
Yes, sir.
detected.
Yeah, now I could play a higher resolution, but that just gives a whole different set of problems for my eyes. Okay. Let's get you guys in here.
Waiting orders. On my way.
Unit lost.
You got it. Yes, sir. You got it. Yes, sir.
Aussie under attack.
Really? How? Oh, artillery. Interesting.
Unit report. Yes, sir.
All right, let's save again, because apparently we do not save enough.
Yes, sir. On my way.
Yeah, no, I honestly, you know, hats off to you, Little Lord Jumper, for being able to fast like that. I don't know if I could. Like, I know other religions have fasting, but in Christianity, it's not like... It's not mandated for a certain point of time, so you can kind of set your own time for that sort of thing. Like, the amount of discipline you would need to do it for, what is it, a full week? I mean, hats off to you. I don't think I'd be able to do that.
Yes, sir.
Look at that guy. I always wanted a jacket like that, like the technician.
Partisan under attack.
Hello, let's go take this.
Yes, sir. On my way.
Yes, Logic. I almost forgot to ask, who's the Ava voice in the original Red Alert, since there's only male voice in the entire series? He actually passed away a little while back. They tried to get him back for the remaster,
Yes, sir.
but like I said, he'd already passed away.
Retreat. Sir. Moving out.
I don't know his name, but his name is known. Whereas the original voice for Ava for Tiberian Dawn is still alive, and she was able to re-record her lines for the remaster, which I thought was super cool.
Sir. Awaiting orders. Moving out.
Okay.
Orders received. Unit ready.
All right, let's just keep moving.
Unit ready. Yes, sir.
Let's keep moving.
Building.
On my way.
Of course it is.
Moving out.
There we go.
Firestorm defense offline.
Thank you.
Awaiting orders. Awaiting orders.
Unit ready.
Unit reporting. Yes, sir. Waiting orders. You got it.
No, it's right here.
Training.
On my way.
Ready.
Orders received.
Oh, this must be a Tiberian processing plant. Or not? Why are you able to shoot these guys?
Orders.
Ion
Why are they shootable? They're civilians, right? Are these... This raises a lot of questions. Are these not civilians who are, like, totally down to be converted into cyborgs? Like, this raises so many questions. Is this just a programming error, or, like, was this meant to imply something? What's going on? Martin Alper. Gotcha. Come on, guys, quickly. Theorycraft. What does this mean? Why can we shoot the civilians in this presumable cyborg pen?
On my way. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. No problem. You got it. Awaiting orders. Orders received. Yes, sir. Moving out. Orders received.
Okay. Leap logic. Luke Danger, that or Westwood just forgot to set the factions right. Yeah, probably.
Awaiting orders.
Base under
Programming error. I guess the Geneva Convention is ancient history by this point. You're not wrong. Not wrong, Zeptages.
and retrieve the codes to disable his defenses.
Yes, sir. No problem. Awaiting no problem. Awaiting no problem.
Building captured.
Unit ready. Code fragment retrieved. You got it, sir.
Building captured.
Unit reporting. Awaiting
Building.
orders.
Unit lost.
Orders received. Unit ready. Yes, sir. You got it. No, you got it.
Primary building set. Training.
Is Haig even still staying in this universe? Good point.
Unit ready.
Unit ready. Unit reporting. On my way. Unit ready.
Unit ready.
Awaiting orders. No problem. Awaiting orders. Positive. Unit ready.
Building captured. Building captured.
You got it.
Now let's get you guys down here,
Unit reporting.
because I would like
On my
to.
way.
Unit
the-
ready.
Sir. Awaiting orders. Pilot reporting.
Unit ready.
Okay, let's.
Building. Primary building set. Building. Building.
Got him. And you're gone too.
Complete. Building.
Okay, we're ready to go get the final one. Ah, 1 sec. Drop my phone. Okay, what time is it? Good grief. Certainly taking my time with this.
Unit ready.
Engineering. Affirmative. Yes, sir.
Hopefully there's no obelisks of light up here that will completely incinerate me.
No problem.
That would be bad. Runewish. One, where am I going? Where am I going? Oh, Runewish did a lot of stuff. Okay, I think this is his first one. What's your opinion on how to interpret CNC lore fundamentally? Because when I look at CNC lore, there are always some contradictions, and a lot of people look at Westwood, what Westwood originally intended. You're not wrong. Runewish. So I find myself in a tricky situation because there's no right or wrong way to look at the game because I view it from a pure gameplay perspective. Arguments like Westwood said this, or one dev said this in the 1990s are just weaker from my perspective. I still think of them as very valid arguments. It's just that if you can interpret something from the game otherwise, then I'll go with the latter. It might be a hot take, but that's just what it feels the most logical thing. But then again, how can I say it's the most logical thing when how you interpret lore? End of monologue. Yeah, no, that's a good point. I think it really depends on what it is you're trying to get at. Ah, fudge! Where? Oh my gosh, where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Fudge! Where'd it go? Am I... You know? Oh, it's gone. I don't have it.
Base under attack.
Whatever. Whatever. I don't care. I don't care. You could not make me care. Where's my... There it is.
Building.
Cabal, you can stop your laughing. Anyway, as I was saying, Rumish, you make a good point, because yeah, a lot of them contradict, a lot of them have... Fudge!
Building captured.
Alright, a lot of them have very different interpretations depending on who you ask and when and where. And I think it really depends on what is it you're trying to get out of it. If you're trying to make fun fan fiction, or you're like, I think this is a really cool way to look at it, then yeah, it doesn't matter. Or even the question of what is canon is pretty nebulous. Now, if you want to say, what do I think was the intention? Some of that is pretty clear. Like, the question of, like, oh, what, when was Tiberian Dawn supposed to take place? When it was created. And there are multiple interviews that are very clear that, like, all the high up there developers were like, yeah, no, we intended for this to take place in the 1990s, for Tiberian Sun to take place 30 years later in 2030. That is very obvious, and I don't think you can argue with. Now, you could say CNC3 and EALA are just as valid of creators as Westwood. Therefore, when they say that the Tiberian meteor took place in 1995, and that they seem to very much imply that the war took place in 2019, yeah, that's a fair argument. There's no reason necessarily to say that Westwood is the arbiter of truth in this when EALA created like half of the series after that point. That is a very valid way of doing it. That's not necessarily what I would say, but that's a perfectly valid way to think of it. And you could also make the argument that Westwood themselves might have changed their minds on the 2019 date with Renegade. You could also argue that that's not what they meant, and that was a typo, and that's a whole other argument to be had. But I think that that's perfectly logical. So yeah, it really just depends on what you want, because some things I think are objective fact, and it's like, well, that's just the way they viewed it at the time. Versus, hey, this is what I think should be canon. That's a completely different question in my mind. I don't know if any of that made sense. I'm probably rambling.
Unit ready. Orders received. Orders received.
Unit ready.
Sir. Moving out. Unit ready. Orders received.
Ugh.
On my way.
Frostburn. Holy shrimp.
Unit
Yes, sir.
ready.
Loot Danger. Alright, I need to hop off to prior commitment. Have fun with the stream. I'll catch you with the VOD later. See you later, Loot Danger. Glad to have you here. I got a thank you from Roomwish. Yeah, no problem. Thank you for contributing to the discussion. And I'm going the wrong way, I think.
On my way.
Alright.
Unit
Unit
ready.
ready.
Yes, sir.
Where's my... There he is. Here's my buddy. Alright, let's move over this way. And let's go take this out.
Yes, sir. Sir. Unit ready. On my way. Yes, sir.
Unit ready.
Moving out. Orders received. Unit reporting.
Whoa.
On my way. Yes, sir. No.
Somebody attacking this?
Yes, sir.
Because I did not attack this. Who is attacking that? Is that artillery attacking that? From where?
Unit
Yes, sir.
ready.
I have never seen Nod on its own attack. That is... Oh, maybe it's trying to get out? Trying to save itself? That's some interesting programming. I've never seen that before.
Unit
Yes,
lost.
sir.
You can go home.
You got it. Sir.
Alright, is there a way to get across?
Yes, sir.
Building. Construction complete.
Sir, on my way. Yes, sir.
Whoop.
Missile launch
Yes, sir.
detected.
Okay, oh, it's still charging.
Orders received.
Fudge.
Unit lost.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Awaiting orders. Pilot. Ready.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Okay, we got a whole base over here.
Base under attack. Unit lost.
Warm up.
That's not fun.
Sir, no problem. Yes,
Unit lost. Unit lost.
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Unit lost.
Yes, sir. On
Unit
my way.
lost.
No problem. On my way.
Unit
You got it.
lost.
On my way. On my way.
Unit lost. Unit lost.
Yes, sir. On my way. Yes, sir. No
There's a lot of artillery over here.
Unit lost.
On my way. Orders received. Yes, sir.
Unit lost.
Yes, sir. You got it.
Unit ready.
On my way. No problem.
Ugh. There we go. Let's save, shall we?
You got it. Yes, sir.
Building. Unit
No
ready.
problem. Yes, sir. Moving out.
Well, we got another one. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yep, and there's another one. There's the bridge.
Unit lost.
You got it. Yes, sir. Moving out. Sir. Yes, sir.
Unit ready.
Slow and steady wins the race.
On my way. On my way.
Okay, what else? Ooh, we're walking around this. Does that mean there's something here?
Construction complete.
Yes, sir.
Oh, here we go.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Oh, there it is.
Yes, sir.
There we go.
Unit
Yes,
lost.
sir.
That's what I like to see. Make me more Titans. Build me an army worthy of GDI.
You got it. You got it. Yes, sir.
Ugh. So after this, I'm going to do the Nod campaign going forward on live streams for Firestorm, and then after that, we're going to go on to
Ready.
You got it.
what's that game called? I'm blanking. The new one that just came out, the RTS, the one made by Shot Combo. What's it called?
Yes, sir.
Tempest Rising. That's what it's called.
Got it.
And then after that, we'll do some other RTSs. Maybe some ones that you suggest. Maybe StarCraft. I've never actually played through all of StarCraft before.
Sir. On my way.
Maybe Homeworld, Supreme Commander, stuff like that. I think that'll be fun. There we go.
Yes, sir.
What kind of other RTSs would you want me to play that aren't necessarily CNC? Or CNC. I don't mind.
Waiting orders. Ready.
Okay.
Sir. Sir. You got it. Sir.
Unit ready.
Waiting order, sir. Unit reporting. Unit reporting. Moving out. Unit ready. Unit reporting. Yes, sir.
Unit lost. Unit ready. Unit lost.
Unit ready.
Act of War. I've heard a lot about that one. I might be interested in that. Empire at War, another great one. Universe at War. StarCraft. We're getting a lot of good ones. Ah, they blew up the bridge. They blew up the bridge.
Yes, sir.
They blew up the bridge, guys.
You got it.
You know what that means.
Moving out.
Alright, watch this.
Yes, sir.
They blew up the bridge. Alright.
Building.
Okay.
Unit
Let's get you guys across somehow.
on my way. Sir.
Silos needed. Unit ready.
Sir. Awaiting
Missile launch detected.
Because of course it is. I don't care anymore. You think you can stop me? You think these matters mean anything to me? What if I want you to launch your missiles? What if I want you to destroy me? What if I want you to try? Guess what? It's not gonna matter. Nothing you do matter. You are a machine. You are a second-rate Ava with a goatee and a Napoleon complex, and I'm gonna destroy you.
Unit ready.
Face the combined might of the human spirit triumphant, you bag of bolts.
Unit ready. Unit ready.
Let's see what you can do against my MLRSs, you overgrown calculator.
Boss. Unit ready. Boss. Building. Building.
Dang it.
Unit boss. Unit ready.
Ugh. We're almost there, guys.
Building. Construction complete. Building. Construction complete. Building. Unit ready. Unit ready.
Whoa, floaters.
Structure sold. Unit ready. Unit ready.
That's a good question.
Ready.
Who? Okay, we're good. We're good. Go blow this up.
Unit ready. Unit ready. Unit ready. Primary building set. Building.
Alright, I'm gonna try and defeat Cabal with just nothing but Titans, and we'll see what happens. I don't think I have enough Titans yet, but we'll see what we can do.
Unit ready. Unit ready. Building. Building captured.
What's over here on the left? I don't think I even looked over there. What's on the left? Ugh. Look at that, I got a multi-missile.
Awaiting orders.
Anything
Yes,
over
sir.
here?
Yes, sir.
Gosh, there's vein holes everywhere.
Yes, sir.
Unit ready.
Yes, sir. On my way. On my way. On my way. Moving out. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. On my way. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. On my way.
That's a lot of missiles to destroy this thing.
Yes, sir. On my way. Orders received. On my way.
Okay. Let's get you guys over here too.
Orders received. Waiting orders. Moving out.
Building.
Unit reporting. Yes, sir. Unit ready. On my way. Orders received. Waiting orders. Moving out. Unit reporting. Moving out.
Unit ready.
Sir. Yes, sir.
Alright,
Waiting order. Orders
keep moving.
received. Out.
Unit ready.
Star Wars Galactic Battlegrounds, my personal fave. I played a little bit of that. It was hard for me to get into. It looked like it was very much based off of Age of Empires 1, which I always struggled with. I might have to give that another go.
Unit ready.
Ugh. Runewish. Did you know that the RA Advanced Power Plant building actually is a real building? It's called the Battersea Power Station. Yeah, no, I was aware of that, which I always found funny because what the...
Sir.
I think that's like a British design, isn't it? But the
Unit
Soviets
ready.
still clearly use it. But it's good for getting like an old, tiny power plant design. So I think it's super cool. It's very iconic for me.
Yes, sir.
Oh, I hear Firestorm.
Yes, sir. Moving out.
Unit ready.
On my way. Yes, sir. Unit ready. Yes, sir.
Alright.
Yes, sir.
Let's give it a go. If we don't have enough Titans, we'll make more.
Yes, sir.
I usually do the bridge trick, so I don't think I've ever actually really seen how many Titans the Core Defender can chew through. So if nothing else, this will be fun to see how much it chews through.
Yes, sir.
Runewish. As it turns out, also appears in the 1984 film, so it's a parallel I totally missed. It was just rewatching again. Oh yeah, you did that video about the 1984 stuff. That's pretty cool. Ugh.
Yes, sir.
It's funny because Nod always gives off the appearance of being like the rebellious faction, the one that's rebelling against the world order, against tradition and that sort of thing, and yet it adheres to a strict religious moral code and also has authoritarian vibes to it. So it is interesting to me just how
Yes, sir. Sir, on my way.
much that paradox exists in Nod, and I don't think that's bad writing. I think that's very consistent with the way a lot of movements end up tending to be.
Orders received.
Silence
On my way.
needed.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Orders
Look at that.
Unit lost.
That must have been insane for people to see this back in the day, because I didn't grow up playing Tiberian Dawn. But this looks exactly like like just a scaled up Tiberian Dawn obelisk. What was that like for people when they first came across that and were like, what the heck is that? You know?
Sir.
Cluster missile ready.
Sir.
Ooh, never heard Ava say that before.
Moving out. Sir.
Okay. Is there a way to come up on the left at all? Nope.
On my way.
That might be the only way. Video crow's nest. I remember that. That quote was from Dr. White's video too.
Unit reporting.
Which quote? Video Crow's Nest. Cabal falling for the classic blunder of not sending in the giant super unit before the enemy has time to mass up.
On my way.
That's one of the classic blunders.
On my way.
Along with
Moving out.
never start a land war in Asia.
Yes, sir.
And never go in against the Sicilian when death is on the line.
Yes, sir.
Otherwise, you're cool to go up against the Sicilian.
Yes, sir. On my way.
Is there not any way to get over here?
Yes, sir.
Oh, maybe there is. A tiny little alcove. Oh, here we go.
On my way.
Alright, I guess we'll do this. Here we go.
Yes, sir. No problem. Unit ready.
Control station captured.
Code fragment retrieved. Nod is uploading the final pieces of the code now. Stand by. Code received. Firestorm wall coming down in 3, 2, 1. Orders Firestorm is offline.
Fun fact, I don't think you actually have to destroy this thing.
Activating defense protocol. Defender. Now.
Yes, sir.
Incoming.
You got it.
Unit
Sir.
lost.
Unit ready.
Unit lost.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. No problem. Unit report on my way.
Unit lost.
Like, I think if you just destroy the core, you've won. I don't think you even have to destroy the core defender.
Unit lost. Select unit lost. Unit lost.
Nailed it.
Unit
Waiting
lost.
orders. You got it.
Obelisk of
Waiting
Darkness.
orders. You got it. Unit ready.
Activating
You
defense
got it.
protocol. Defender. Now.
What defense protocols, Cabal? You have nothing. Nothing.
Unit recording. Waiting orders.
Select target. Mission accomplished.
Woo!
Operation Lazarus will want you back, Commander. Good luck.
Dr. Boudreau on secure
Stand by,
panel
Commander.
4.
Gabriella.
General Cortez, we've recovered the segments of the Tacitus, or what used to be segments. The two segments have somehow merged. Keep in mind, we're dealing with complete unknowns regarding the Tacitus. I don't know... My God.
Doctor, what's happened?
We found the Rosetta Stone. Data, Paul. Millions of teraquads of data. Readable data. I think we've got an answer. It was like an incomplete lens. The data wouldn't focus without the second piece. We're seeing formulas, engineering data, genetic codes. Material I can't even begin to recognize. It'll take some time, but at least now we have all the pieces. We can reconstruct the puzzle from this.
Dr. Boudreau, we made a very good team on this one.
Too bad we couldn't say the same for our marriage. I've got work to do, Paul. Boudreau out.
General Cortez, initial contact with Philadelphia EVA unit is re-established. Attempting prompt reinstatement of voice and video contact.
Put them on, Eva. I think we finally got some news they're really gonna want to hear.
All right. Way to go, everybody. Thank you for following me along in this journey. Fantastic work. Ugh. That's honestly one of my favorite endings for any of the GDI campaigns. Just be able to decode the Tacitus, and I know originally Westwood wanted that to be material for how to destroy Tiberium, and then Tiberium Continuum was going to have like atmospheric Tiberium cleansers that were going to slowly be turning the planet back. But the way that EA ended up interpreting it was that's how we figured out the resonant frequency of Tiberium, so we could now tune our sonic technology to begin taking back a lot of the Tiberium infested areas. And I know that EA kind of screwed up a lot of the lore because they never explicitly say it, but they kind of imply that a lot of the blue zones are areas that have never been scarred by Tiberium outbreak. But we know for a fact that a lot of the places they mark as blue zones would necessarily have to have been taken back from areas that used to be infested with Tiberium. And we know at least that New Eden, the area that the blue zone that takes up most of what used to be Germany and Switzerland, was a yellow zone before. And, you know, honestly, probably should have been a red zone, because Kane launched a bunch of toxin missiles during the Tiberian Sun GDI campaign, and that area probably would have been pretty badly infested, but in any case, they took it back. So I just think that's a super heroic ending for Firestorm for GDI, and that they get to find a way to basically push Tiberium back and begin taking back the planet. And I love that the Nod campaign, spoiler alert, gives us, you know, a united Nod under Slavic, while also giving us some key lore bits about Kane and Cabal, which I know for the most part didn't really go anywhere, but was explored a bit in the intelligence database entries for Kane's Wrath. But it was still really cool, and I think it set the template that EA used going forward for the Tiberium series, which is that the GDI campaign is the main thrust. That's where you defeat the bad guy. That's where we find any things that we need to destroy Tiberium. And the Nod campaign gives you more insight about Kane's true plans. And I know that was kind of the template all the way back from Tiberian Dawn, but I feel like Firestorm really solidified it. Let me take a look what you guys have to say. Zaptages, I think the ending movies and CNC games were disappointingly short, to be perfectly honest. Fair enough. Nasty Logic, and that's what leads to the future blue zones, and the future seems to be bright for the time being. But yeah, that's the end. Next stop, the Firestorm Nod campaign. Exactly. And then Trevor Lane says, San Diego, London, and DC are wet areas and would have been badly infested if no sonic tech was used. Yeah, exactly. I always thought it was funny that the Eastern Seaboard ended up being a blue zone, because I feel like they purely did that so they could have things like the Pentagon and, you know, DC and all these iconic East Coast areas like still be in blue zones, even though I feel like they would be taken up. Like, one of the things I liked about Tiberian Sun is that the beginning of the missions take place in like Arizona and Mexico, and these areas that you normally wouldn't set a campaign. It felt a little cliche to set it in DC. That being said, though, it was cool seeing Nod actually attack the Pentagon and actually get to do what Seth wanted them to do in the first Tiberian Dawn, so I'm not going to complain too much. Okay. Well, that's pretty much it. I'm going to have to go eat something and then get out of here. Are there any questions you guys have about the documentary or anything else? Because this is the last time you're going to get to ask for like a couple of weeks. Otherwise, I'm going to get out of here. Little Lore Jumper, which date for the first Tib War are you taking? The most accepted date, the 90s, or the Renegade one? I did a whole video. It's like a half-an-hour video I did of when did the first Tiberium War actually occur, where I collect all the evidence for both sides and evaluate them. I'm going to go with the 90s one, just because that's the one that makes the most sense. That's the one that I think the developers intended when they started. Whether they retconned it later or not is still up for debate, but I'm just going to stick with the time period that I think the war took place in when Tiberian Dawn was released. Peter Darkness, which stream when? I don't know. Next week, I might be streaming on my other channel. I don't know. I might stream next Saturday. We'll see. It depends on how this week goes. If this week is super stressful, I might just want to stream just to get away from it all. Zaptages, Snowman, do you think Tib Wars is a logical jump off from the Tiberian Sun story-wise? So not world-wise, because I take issue with like how the red zones are not as bad as they should be. The yellow zones aren't explored enough, and they aren't infected enough with Tiberium, and that the Forgotten are just that, forgotten. But aside from that, I do really like what Tib Wars did with the story. I like that. At first, I didn't like that Nod was kind of going back to being kind of a low-end terrorist organization like they were in Tib Dawn. But the more I think about it over the years, the more I think it makes a lot of sense, given that they lost pretty badly at the end of Tiberian Sun. and that would be the logical place they would have to go after they lost so poorly in the Second Tiberium War. So overall, I do think it's a logical jumping off point. Tib Wars, I do like what they did with it. I think the only thing that I don't really like is that Kane's Wrath made it so that a lot of the events and the way that we see the world is there as early as 2034, and that's like 3 years after the end of Tiberian Sun, 2 years maybe after the end of Firestorm Crisis. It just seems like that is way too quickly for them to have pushed back all that Tiberium and to get the kind of tech we see. I know it's for gameplay reasons and it's in-engine, but I really don't like that it's pushed that far back to 2034. I feel like it should have been pushed closer to 2040. But what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Okay, Nastologic says, the only question I have is, how is the Challenge Bros doing? It's been a while since I've heard of them. They're doing a stream right now, actually. This is one of the few times I've scheduled a stream the same time they were. But I just really needed to play some video games and get some stress off, so. They're doing great, though. They're awesome. And they're helping out with the documentary as well. They're voicing some minor characters. But it's, yeah. Nastologic says, the only question Frostburn. About documentary, can I send you something to read? I'm in the zone for InOps data read about Bialystok, but IRL didn't let me do it before the deadline. Yeah, go ahead. Again, make sure that you sign the Google form, just so that we're all covered legally speaking, in the original video. It's in the description of the original video. And then go ahead and send it. Like I told everyone else, anything voice-wise or, written-wise, it's past the deadline. So it's going to get lower priority. If it's really good, I might be like, oh, I really got to find a way to fit this in somehow. But this late in the process, I'll be honest, your chances of getting included are pretty low. Same thing with that other person. I can't remember who wrote, who said they had like a female voice actor who was interested. Like, you can do it. Like, by all means, go for it. You never know. But like this late in the game where we're setting things in stone, chances are low that you'll end up being included. But that being said, go for it. And at the very least, I would love to read it myself. Like, a part of me is like, man, I could just like disappear off the face of the earth and never make this documentary, and I've already gotten what I want out of it, which is getting to read all this amazing material. I'm not going to do that, but just to show you how much I enjoy reading what you guys wrote. Little Lore Jumper says, all right, it's been a great stream. Happy Ramadan, guys. I'm out. Happy Ramadan to you too, Little Lore Jumper. Pete of Darkness. I need to go get some groceries before they close my closest shop. Good night, everyone. All right, Pete of Darkness. Zeptages says, totally agree. I'm not sure what you agreed to. All right. Let me know if you need some other takes for the voice stuff. Yeah, no, as far as I can remember, I'm very happy with everything you did voice-wise. So I think we're good for now. Benjamin Delapine says, I will be good night, everybody. Thank you for the live. Yep, I'm going to end now as well. Thank you guys for watching. I will see you all next time. Bye.